Live from the Texas Cheerlickers Studios, it's In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
We have the NFL draft this week. We have the NBA playoffs going on. We have the NBA playoffs going on. We have dead popes. We have a lot going on. And what are we going to talk about off the top tonight? Nico Harrison. Because how the hell do you not? They even started with this on TNT tonight. To hell with the playoff games. They led with Nico Harrison on the TNT show, on the TNT pregame show.
I didn't even see that. I know it's been hot button. It's been viral. His exit press conference. But I didn't know TNT led with it.
Chuck went off on Nico. Told him to stop doing press conferences. Told him to get off television. Stop talking to the media. And supports Nico, actually, because he knows him a little bit. And doesn't support the trade, but supports the man. And feels bad for him. And it's like, dude, every time you go on television, you make this worse. And golly, I don't know if you saw any of Nico's press conference today, Rudy, but
I did.
Why admit that? Well, I didn't realize how popular Luka was to our fans. Of all the things,
no, he didn't say that. He said, I knew how popular he was. I didn't know to this extent.
My God, how out of touch rich people. I mean, but you know what? Don't matter. There's a lot of rich people that are in touch.
And out of touch. Nico, Nuck Fico, 199.
Nuck Fico just donated money to the cause. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Nuck Fico.
Gosh, it was so Nico, and we didn't. I don't know if y'all got into this when I was out on Thursday traveling.
Okay,
but he actually had a press conference last week and it was an invitation only to chosen people. No cameras were allowed. No recording devices of any kind were allowed. And then I guess they thought, well, that was the wrong thing to do. Let's go ahead and run Nico back out there today now that the season's over and invite all the media. They found out today why they decided not to let recording devices in the room last week, because they can't trust Nico to not go out there and make the whole damn thing look worse.
You know what, though, Mike? I'll say this. I feel like if he ducked the smoke, he gets killed worse. I feel like if he says, you know what, I refuse to just talk to y'all. It is what it is. Then people are like, you coward. How dare you do something like this to this franchise and then hide? So it's one of the things, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. But now I'm not justifying any of his answers, but I am like, as a man that's made a lot of mistakes in his life, all you can do is face him head on. And sometimes the mistakes are the size of Texas, right? Dude, and all you can do is face it head on, and I give him that. He's done that.
It was my buddy Mac Engel, who I've known for 30 years. He's the one that asked Nico about.
Oh, that was him.
It was Mac, yeah, about the backlash, and that's where Nico's like, well, I knew he was popular, but I
don't know why he said that.
He can't play it on our show. We don't have the rights, blah, blah, blah. I knew he was popular, but I didn't know he was that popular with our fan base. Oh, my God. I didn't know Manu Ginobili was so popular. Dang. Right. People in San Antonio like Manu Ginobili a lot. Whoa. What a dumbass.
He should have purchased some, at the beginning of a golf tournament, you could purchase some mulligans. He probably should have purchased some mulligans. He wants that one back. Like you didn't notice that y'all had sold 17 million Luka jerseys? You didn't know that he was a 5-time first team NBA, all NBA?
Right.
You might want that one back. Reel that one back in, Nico. I'm trying to find the silver lining with this, and he's making it tougher.
Yeah, he is. And of course, then Mac asked him another question about, the team failing and getting whooped in the play-in game, and it didn't work out. And of course, Nico basically came up with an excuse. Nico and Mac asked him point blank, "Do you think?" Everyone, all the fans are saying fire Nico. Why shouldn't the Mavericks fire you? And his response was, and I'm paraphrasing, I've done a good job here. I can't help the injuries. I can't help the injuries. So there's your built-in excuse. Hey man, Kyrie Irving got hurt. We would have won the championship this year without Fat Luka. Yeah, we would have won the title, and Kyrie blew his Achilles out. So that's going to be his built-in excuse. And it'll be his built-in excuse next year because Kyrie won't be back till probably March.
If that, knowing Kyrie's going to take off the whole year. He's in his mid-30s.
I mean, he is old, right? I know, it's incredible.
But, even to just stay on the defense wins championship train, that pisses people off because it's like, oh, you're going to continue to throw this guy under the bus because you messed up.
Right.
That's what's pissing off diehard Maverick fan. It's like you keep throwing Luka under the bus.
It is in the building. It's been a hell of
a day.
Kyrie
don't play no defense, by the way.
Well,
whatever.
Not much. It is in the building. Welcome in here. It's the late night edition for our guys that are in here in the chat, and I appreciate that. Accommodating traveling Taylor. Tomorrow night I have a flight home. I fly all night long. So we're doing this show tonight. This will stand for Tuesday's show. We'll run this at 10 a.m. tomorrow on Anthem TV. And it'll run periodically throughout the day. And, of course, on Pub Sports Radio and, of course, on our channel, Love You Hard TV. I fly home tomorrow, and I fly all night long, and I will not. So y'all are going to have to do one more show without me on Wednesday morning. And then I'll be back, and no more vacations, at least for a while. So
Jose
thank y'all for accommodating.
10 a.m. Wednesday, back to normal time Wednesday, and then Mike will be back in Thursday. And we got something special for y'all Thursday. So
we do. Should we just tell them what we got planned? Should we tell them?
Let's do it. Why not?
All right. So we got a busy day Thursday. We got our 10 a.m. podcast on all of our partners on Love You Hard and Anthem TV and Pub Sports Radio. Then me and Rudy got in the building the radio show on KLMO Radio and Roku. And then we have a special NFL draft edition of In the Building that will come down Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Texas time. So be advised, we're going to do a twofer on Thursday. We're going to do our regular podcast at 10 a.m. Thursday. And then at 8 o'clock Thursday night, the draft starts at 7. The Cowboys have the 12th pick in the draft, provided they don't trade the pick. 12 picks, 15 minutes in between. Was it 10 minutes now in between picks? Right when it's possible that right when we come on at 8 o'clock, Dallas may be on the clock or at least close to being on the clock, provided they don't trade down or up. So we're going to cover the NFL draft first round starting at 8 o'clock Thursday night right here on Love You Hard TV and Pub Sports and all that kind of thing. All right, you can subscribe to our channel for free. You can become an exclusive member for just $4.99 a month and get all of our exclusive members-only material. Our shows that we do for members only, our giveaways. With me being out of town, we have postponed the horse race. So Thursday, we'll do the horse race to give away the Wemby cutout for members only. So we'll get so Jose, as you get ready to load the run sheet for Thursday's show, we'll start with we'll do our Monday horse race on Thursday this week because I'm out of town traveling. All right. What else today? Right after the press conference, ESPN drops a long piece on Nico. The great Tim McMahon. Boy, Tim McMahon deserves an award for how he has covered this Luka trade. Longtime writer in the NBA. I used to know Tim back when he was just a beat writer for the Mavs back in the day when I was a young dude up there working in the Metro 6. And Tim's turned into one of the premier NBA writers in the country. So I don't know if you saw this today on ESPN.com. Tim got 10 to 15 Maverick sources. And I know how you feel, Rudy, about anonymous sources. And I get it. Put your name on that shit.
Trying to keep your job. I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Both sides of it. When you get one or two anonymous sources, I'm with you. It's like, man, if you don't say, keep your mouth, just don't say nothing then if you can't put your name on it. This is multiple sources for the Mavs. Lord, because Tim knows everybody there. So it could be the ticket takers. It could be the assistant general manager. Hell, it could be Cuban for all I know.
Right.
McMahon got, I think, 12 or 13 Maverick sources that, and I don't want, I'm not, I mean, this is not a Maverick show, but I mean, I was enthralled by the piece, basically in a nutshell. And one guy that was, when I was working up there and covering the team for Mickey, the trainer for the Mavs at that time was a guy named Casey Smith. He was voted trainer of the year multiple times. Dirk Nowitzki loves him like a brother. Dirk says for a fact, the only reason I made it 21 years in the league is because Casey Smith was my trainer. One of the most beloved training heads in sports. USA Olympics hired Casey twice for 2 Olympics to be the head trainer for USA basketball. Casey was a stud, but Nico didn't like Casey, according to this piece, to all these sources, because Casey was starting to rise the ranks. He was the head trainer, but he was also now getting say-so in like personnel matters and stuff. His power and his influence in the organization started to go up as the years went by, and especially once Luka got to Dallas, he and Casey really hit it off because Dirk loved Casey so much. And it was Dirk that got Luka to trust Casey. And then when Luka realized, oh, wow, Casey's the man, then those two became real close. And according to these sources, these multiple anonymous sources, they insist that Nico was put out by Casey Smith, threatened by him, saw his rise in the team organization as a threat to his job, and thought maybe Casey Smith's got more power than me, and that ain't going to happen. I'm the GM. I'm the sheriff now, and fires Casey Smith. And out of nowhere, shocks everybody. Pissed off Dirk Nowitzki something fierce. Hey, Dirk's just a former player. But Dirk was pissed, and so was Luka. And then you find out that he didn't even fire Casey Smith in person. Casey Smith took a 2-week leave of absence and went back home to I think he's from Minnesota. Casey's mom was on her deathbed. Casey took a 2-week leave of absence in the offseason, flew to Minnesota, and was with his mama while she was passing. Nico calls him on the phone and fires him on a FaceTime call while he's at his mom's house with her laid up dying in the other room. That's how he fires Casey Smith. Not only does he fire Casey, he fires Casey's top assistant. And before the week's over, Casey winds up burying his mama because she passed. And then the very next week, the Knicks hired Casey as their trainer because Jalen Brunson, who was then a Knick, begged the Knicks, because the Knicks happened to have an opening for head trainer, begged the Knicks to at least give Casey a look, and they hired Casey on the spot. Jalen Brunson will tell you to this day, the reason why he was so devastated when he got traded from the Mavericks to the Knicks is because he loved Casey Smith. He did not want to leave Casey. These kids that go to the Mavs the last 20 years, you know how guys are with their bodies? You know, their rehab and all this kind of thing. They entrusted Casey Smith to prolong their careers. And it goes on and then the dudes that Nico replaced Casey with in Dallas, he has 2 guys. They suck. They don't like each other. They almost went to blows recently because they don't agree with each other's tactics in treating the team. I mean, the Mavericks, what team's been more injured than Dallas all year? I mean, it's a dumpster fire, man. And Dirk earlier this year told the Mavs, and Dirk, Dirk's classy. He didn't do this in public. Dirk told them, look, y'all need to stop calling me, because the Mavs included Dirk in some of their stuff. Like, hey, what do you think about this marketing? Hey, Dirk, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Not personnel, but
no, I know,
marketing stuff. Dirk told the Mavericks, hey, man, I no longer want to work and give my advice for anything because I'm out. I'm just a Mavs fan.
I don't agree with anything they're doing, and I don't want y'all thinking I'm a part of this nonsense.
And I don't want shit to do with this Nico Harrison because he's a scumbag. Dirk would never say that, but it's a mess up there. So it's one thing to jump on Nico for the trade. It's another thing to jump on Nico for the way he's handled the trade, which is terrible. Then you read all this stuff about how he's backstabbing folks, firing people on FaceTime calls with their mama dying in the other room. Dude, it turns out that Nico Harrison, he might just be a freaking scumbag. Hell of a thing. Damn. That McMahon piece today just basically it put the Mavericks in a situation where if they don't fire Nico Harrison, the Mavericks organization looks like a bunch of scumbags, the owners. Charles Barkley defended Nico one sentence tonight while he ripped him to start the TNT pregame show and said that he agrees with you, Rudy. Charles believes that Nico was told to trade Luka by the ownership.
Obviously. And he's taking all the bullets for him. But that doesn't make up for the other stuff that's going on. And your buddy RJ and Choppy, he had Tim on the other day on the show and said, hey, how long are they going to continue to treat Dirk this way? And Tim said, they're lucky that Dirk is biting his tongue. So it's a lot more to it than just, there's a lot more going on than just the actual trade of the century.
Unbelievable, man. So, I mean, that's probably all the Mavs talk our people care to hear. It's just, it's incredible how, dude, that was a championship contender 3 months ago. They went to the finals last season. It's unbelievable.
Please get the fuck out of here, man.
It's crazy, man. He's got to go. But at this point, I think the ownership's pride, their pride is they're gonna keep him. And maybe it's them. Maybe Nico resigns and says, hey, the ownership here's, I can't work for them. They made me do this. That'd be funny if Nico then threw the owners under the bus.
This is the thing. He's gonna be caught with the murder weapon. And when the big boss, when shit hits the fan, the hitman gonna take the fall, right? He has to eventually. And when he does, he'll let us know. Clearly he don't bite his tongue, but yeah. That's that.
Aaron Canooper's in the building. What's up, Aaron? $9.99. Nico making a strong case for being the number one seed in the dumbass of the year bracket challenge.
Well, he'll definitely be in the douchebag challenge this year.
Yeah, God almighty. That's incredible. All right, it is in the building, presented in part tonight by our buddies at Texas Cheer Liquor. Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of In the Building. All right, so are we selling in this Whistle Pig, man?
No, yeah. I've been
okay.
When did I go to work? Friday? I think I worked Friday. I worked Friday night. There was a bunch of receipts in the hamper, and that's just my store. So who knows about stores, the other 6 stores. So the Whistle Pig is moving. It's marked down. Don't forget you got a beautiful Traeger you can win. Don't forget about the Rossville, and don't forget about the Stella Rosa, lemon, and the grapefruit. And anything else. I know we've been talking about this, but they got plenty of stuff. And a lot of the allocations have been marked down. The E.H. Taylor's been marked down. The Eagle Rare's been marked down. The Blends have been marked down. So AD, against his normal judgment, marking down that good stuff that y'all like. So head in there and check out some of those specials that we got going on at Texas Cheer Liquor. But don't forget to let them know In the Building sent you. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, baby. Take advantage. You got about another week left. And it's Fiesta week. We're kicking off Fiesta. If you want to be safe and just party at home, it's feeling the Fiesta vibes, go to Texas Cheer Liquor and get your drink on at home. Why not?
Yes, sir.
Or at least your pregame on at home.
And again, look, I hate to be that old man, but you and I have talked about Fiesta.
Yeah, we have.
I can't. I'm not the same guy I was at 25. I can't do it.
You're not supposed to be. Yeah.
So if I put streamers on my front porch and drink on my patio, am I celebrating Fiesta?
Yes.
I think I am.
In your own way.
I get points for that. I do plan on going with you to Taste of New Orleans. I'm excited. We got to talk about that because we've been invited.
That's this weekend, by the way.
All weekend long. We gotta discuss that. I got a busy homecoming. Yeah, I'm gonna make up for missing shows when I get back home this week because we got a busy time. Please subscribe to our show for free. We got to get to 5,000. We're on the way. We did pretty good this last month. I'd like to keep it going here. We need subscriptions. You never know who might be a subscriber. Nina went out today. She ordered, apparently, she called me and goes, hey, I want you to talk to somebody. I got on the phone with the guy. Our Amazon delivery guy today was dropping off a package, and Nina went outside to greet him. He's like, whoa, are you Nina? She's like, yeah. He's like, I got in the building in my AirPod right now.
So creepy.
And so
I love it. I love it, but it's creepy. Shout out to the Amazon dude.
Yeah, shout out to Rick, the Amazon guy in San Antonio, Texas today. And I got on the phone with him, and I made him promise me he would not tell people where I live. So,
yeah, for real.
We got outed today. Yeah. We got
if he does, hey, let him tell. If we do, we'll just sue Amazon. We can retire from all this shit.
Well, whoa, and we'll cut Rick in. A little side deal. All right, let's get ready. Let's get violent, shall we? Let's get violent. Every night we'll do a show of violence on In the Building on Love You Hard TV and Pub Sports Radio and Anthem TV.
It's time for People I Want to Punch on In the Building.
You punch tonight, sir.
I'm tired of punching this dude. My hand hurts.
Nico.
Kanye West.
Kanye. Now what?
He's made a new song called Cousins.
See, now I got to go listen to it.
He said, this song, Cousins, is about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years ago.
Whoa.
After I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault I showed him those dirty magazines when we was 6, and then he acted out of what we saw. He said, my dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's blank when I was 14.
So he thinks he messed up. How old was his cousin at the time?
I don't know.
He thinks he messed up his cousin's head by doing that?
By showing the magazines that his mom had were different than Playboy. I don't know if they were homoerotic Playboys, but
were they like underground illegal underage?
I don't know, but he says he said he gave his male cousin fellatio when he was 14.
Thank you for using that term. My kids are in here.
They can't hear you.
No, okay, they can't hear you still.
Okay, cool. So just punch him. Like we don't need to know all that. Like things happen. Okay, cool. We don't need to know all of that.
Dude,
he's a strange person, man.
I just don't even know if I even believe that. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. That's unfortunate. It feels like, it's messed him up or messed up his cousin or whatever. But it's coming from him. And I just don't think, I never know what's bullshit.
Because he does lie.
Sure. I never know what's the truth or if it's 100% BS or 50% BS.
And if he is lying, then I double punch him.
I think he has a deep dysfunctional desire for attention. And the way that he goes about that is to shock us all. No,
I know.
Greg, they were my third cousins, bro. We've talked about this before.
What?
Get out of the chat.
Oh.
I can't read that one back.
Oh, no, don't read it. Don't read it. We're trying to keep it PG-13.
Don't count. Hey, don't count. And don't count after 4 p.m. if they're your third. Don't count. That's different. There's enough of the bloodline removed. Jeez, Greg.
It's unfortunate, Kanye. Punch Kanye.
Yeah,
punch Kanye. For exposing the family secrets.
It's like, I don't want to punch Nico Harrison because we just spent the first 20 minutes of the show tonight basically punching him. Who else could I punch today? I'm having a good week. I got my babies. All right, I'm going to punch this girl today. In the parking lot of the 7-Eleven who got so amped up and pissed off at somebody, a case of road rage, that she almost attacked the wrong girl. So my kids I haven't even told my kids this happened. They were in school, and so I was just killing time, and I needed a snack, so I popped into a 7-Eleven. Because the 7-Elevens here in Hawaii are incredible. We've talked about this before. Like, they have excellent food in the 7-Elevens here. And it's cheap. And so I pop into 7-Eleven. I grab my little teriyaki chicken rice bowl. I'm just standing out in the curb minding my own business. And so it's a tight little parking lot where this 7-Eleven is. It's right here in the middle of the city. And one car's going one way and one car's going the other, and they're trying to go past each other. One car didn't get over far enough and was kind of blocking the other car. And they just kind of stalemated. They just stopped. There's two women. In this one woman, she lays on the horn. And the other girl's like, hey, she sticks her head out the window and goes, you're the one that's in my lane. And that girl was right. The girl that honked was the one that was too far over to the left. All she had to do was move her car to the right. But you know how so women do this too. Dudes get all machismo in traffic and stuff, and the chemical starts flowing. I saw that too. I saw two women get upset today. So she lays on the horn, and then the other girl's like, hey, why are you honking at me? Move out of the way. You're in my lane. And that girl just keeps honking. It just lays on it, Rudy. In the middle of a 7-Eleven parking lot, people trying to pump gas, people walking. You know how loud that is? And we're in the middle of the city. It reverberates for like 30 seconds. The store manager I'm just sitting there eating my little chicken on the curb. I'm thinking, should I get my phone out? Should I get my phone out?
You should have. You always.
I got a world star moment here. So the girl that got honked out, then she gets out of the car. And she gets out and she's like, bangity, 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 bangity. So that's it. The girl, the girl that was honking, she speeds off. And so the girl's like yelling at her as she drives off. No problem. So the girl gets back in her car and then parks because she hadn't gone into the store yet. Well, like I had called an Uber because I had to go get my kids from school. And I figured the commotion was over. So that's why I left my phone in the pocket. All this was about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, I'm finishing up my chicken. I'm trying to get my Uber. And I heard the girl that went to the store, she comes back out. And she starts screaming again because the other girl showed back up, Rudy, and like drove right at her and like almost bumped her.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and then it was like, and then all these people started coming out today. They started coming out of like restaurants and stuff that are all in this little shopping area. It's like, hey, we're going to call the cops. Get out of here. Blah 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 blah. And so that woman drives off again. I'm like, lady, get the hell out of here. Everything had cooled off. You have to circle. Such a dude move. You know what? F it. I'm going back. So then all of a sudden, I'm looking at that poor girl that got honked at, who wasn't even in the wrong lane to begin with. She goes after another car.
She went after the wrong car?
Another car. She thought she saw that woman's car. There happened to be a car that looked a lot like that one. This woman runs over and rips open the car door. Bitch, get your ass out the car. And I'm like, whoa. And then that woman, like, and the driver's like, what is wrong? What's going on? What do you mean? And then she realizes, oh, my bad. I had the wrong car. I thought you were somebody else. I'm like, what is going on?
Hawaii's supposed to be chill.
Dude, no, I know, right? So I guess I don't blame that girl for getting so upset and mad because she almost got run over, but punched the original woman that was driving on the wrong side of the parking lot, and then she gonna honk at you for 45 seconds and blow all of our eardrums out. Almost saw a big old cat fight today in Hawaii. Didn't get my phone out.
On it.
I had my chicken. Well, had they started throwing down, I would have put my chicken down and got the phone out. So punch these gals for messing up my afternoon today and messing up my lunch. It is Orlando Kill. These two girls should not ever have a relationship of any kind. It will not work. They just don't work. If your relationship is failing and as you're saying working, our guy is Orlando Kill, the official family lawyer of In the Building. He brings us people I want to punch each and every night. 210-775-4995. You can email him, orlandokilllaw gmail.com. OrlandoKillLaw@gmail.com. All right. We almost need a sounder now. A Rudy J movie intro on In the Building. Rudy texted today, so Rudy and I always text what we want to get into, and Rudy texted that he went and saw Sinners.
Ryan
What
Coogler.
is Sinners?
Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
Creed, and now Sinners. Him and Michael B. Jordan are finding that Spike Lee Denzel chemistry.
Okay.
And Sinners is getting, I think it's the highest rated Rotten Tomatoes in like 1,000 years. They got like 98%.
Whoa.
When did I go see it? We went and saw it.
Is this the like old school New Orleans voodoo movie?
Yes.
Yes.
I went and saw it Thursday night. Really, really, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but if everybody's been talking about this film, really, really good film. Michael, I think it's probably, I don't think it's Michael B. Jordan's best performance. Again, I don't want to black one. Yeah, I ain't gonna give anything away, but definitely, if you want to wait till it hits Amazon, so you don't have to go and pay the movie, whatever you decide to watch, it's gonna be worth it. It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's worth it. So, if all of y'all that haven't seen it, go out there and check it out. Definitely check out Sinners. Definitely worth the. I hate going to the movies and spending that kind of money. It was 4 of us, but that was worth it.
I've talked to you before about we don't go to a lot of movies anymore, which sucks. We watch a lot of movies at home.
Same.
But we don't go while they're in the theater. But it's because you got to put up with people, and it's expensive, and you want to make sure that it's going to be really good. You want to make sure that you have your ID. Last week, remember when Nina didn't have her ID, had to run home and get it. Couldn't buy no beer.
That's right.
It's to go to the movies. It requires effort, so I want to make sure it's good. But I've missed out on some actors though because of me not going to the movies as much. I've only seen one Michael B. Jordan movie in my life. I feel like I've missed out on I saw a movie he did like 10 years ago when he was young.
Fruitvale Station,
where he played the kid that got shot on the Oakland Transit system up in the Bay Area. Yeah. And he was amazing in that movie.
Great film. Great movie.
And dude,
that was a true story. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I just feel
you
like
haven't seen any of the Creeds?
I've not seen any of the Creeds.
I'm not going to sit here and tell. I like them, but I'm not going to make Mike. You have to. It's not that. But it was entertaining. You know what I mean? If you got some time and you got nothing to do and there's nothing on, yes. But I'm not going to be like, how dare you? It's not one of those, but definitely worth watching if you. Like I said, you got nothing to do.
Right.
I liked all 3 of them.
He played Apollo's son, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then was Rocky his trainer? See, I have no idea.
In the first 2, yes.
Okay. And then Sylvester Stallone.
Well, remember in the third one, Michael B. Jordan and Sly and Coogler they butted heads, and Sly said, "Y'all got it. I'm out," and they did their own thing. Yeah. Okay,
that seems silly on Sly's part, but whatever. But so what? On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best movie of all time. 3s, 3.5. These Creeds movies.
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. Again, nothing. It's not Shawshank. You ain't got to stop down and go see it now. No.
Right, and I'm not. Everything doesn't have to be Shawshank.
Right.
I want it to be a decent movie. Like I'll mix them in at home. I can just go download or stream Creed at some at least watch the first one, because it did get a lot of publicity and got a lot of run, and I loved Michael B. Jordan in that Fruitvale Station. It was great, but I'll have to put Sinners on the list too.
Put Sinners up there.
Yeah, let's show off my jersey.
That is a fire jersey. Now that one, you won't be throwing that one away. You'll be taking that home.
Yeah, I like this one. So as y'all know, I'm a light packer. And so when I come to Hawaii, I always wind up going to thrift stores so I can have a couple of shirts. And I found this and I paid $40 for this. This was in like
that's still a deal. That's $100 jersey.
For sure. This is an old school Ken Griffey Jr. Can you see my back?
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah. This is an old school junior jersey. Bouquet, when were you born?
97.
97.
Yes.
Gosh.
He was still born in the 19s, though, so he's considered an old head.
Barely, but it's like, yeah, man, and I know you're such a baseball fan, and it's not, and unfortunately there's YouTube and there's clips and there's stories, so you don't have to have had been there. But, dude, and I know how much you love baseball. The Ken Griffey prime years, the dude, I still think
definitely top three, if not the greatest swing ever.
He's definitely the most underrated ball player there's ever been, I think.
His injuries derailed him a bit.
We all know how great he is, but because he played in Seattle and Cincinnati, had he been a Yankee, they'd have a freaking highway in New York named after Junior.
He'd be a god.
Never once had any off the field issues. Never once, and he came up in the steroid era. Not even a whisper of a hint that he may be on the juice. Certainly the most underrated baseball player in the last 40 years, certainly of my lifetime. I can't think of anybody. Maybe Ichiro, because he also played in Seattle.
That's a good one.
And it took him having to go to the Yankees, unfortunately, to get his true propers. Ichiro and Griffey Jr. probably the two most underrated ball players in 50 years. And we all know Griffey was great, but I don't think we realize how great he was. And it was stop down whenever the Mariners played the Rangers back in the day when we didn't have all these games on TV. We would go and I'd go pay for the $2 seats at the old stadium that the Rangers used to play in. We'd go early, and I would make sure that I bought seats in right field so I could be there for Griffey's BP session early in the day. And he'd be out there with a hat on backwards, just a freaking stud. So I saw this in the thrift store the other day. Could not resist it and dropped the $40 on it. So
modern version of that is Mike Trout, so you guys know.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think the world realizes how great Mike is. He played in freaking L.A. for that. Well, he played in Anaheim, I should say.
Injuries, all the second, like during his prime here, kind of ruins it. I think he's easily.
Griffey has 600 home runs.
Yeah, but both these guys are. I mean, again, Trout was on pace for 600 home runs, but he kept getting hurt, just like Ken Griffey.
How old's Trout now?
I'll look it up now. At least 30.
I don't think he's saying Trout's better than Junior. I think Jose's saying that Trout's the most underrated guy of his era.
It's the same guy that plays in the small market, gets hurt a bunch. He was amazing. He won MVPs.
LA is a small market.
Anaheim is, yes.
Anaheim.
Okay.
And they're the Clippers, and they share that. I mean, the Dodgers are such a monster in SoCal.
He's 33, by the way.
33.
Most people in LA forget the Angels even have a team. He's 33. God, he seems like he's been around for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, he came up when he was like 20, right? Same thing as Griffey.
Yeah, and I've said this for years. Trout should have demanded to be traded. I don't know why. It's like, do you not want to win, Mike? Because
the fact that we haven't seen him in the playoffs is a travesty.
It's a travesty. Junior got some playoffs a little bit early in his career when the Mariners had Edgar Martinez and Randy Johnson, and they had some good teams they had some damn good teams in the early to mid 90s, and then they tailed off. And of course, Junior wound up in Cincinnati and all this kind of thing.
Dude, speaking of Griffey, did you see his work? Did you see his work with the Masters? He's like a legit photographer. His shit. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is just them doing a solid." Griffey's a big golf guy. He's freaking Ken Griffey. Masters doing him a solid. And then I saw 10 pictures from the Masters, and they were great. I was like, "Oh, Griffey's legit."
Oh, he's great. It's funny enough because I mentioned Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson also has become a professional photographer.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so Randy, he photographs bands mostly. Like Randy actually got hired as the official photographer of Soundgarden for a long time, and would follow Soundgarden around, taking pictures for their website and their YouTube page. And he wasn't like he was making a ton of money. He just liked doing it, and he was great at it. So you'll see Randy's today. Like Randy, you'll probably see Randy's photos. I think Coachella's going on right now, is it not?
Or maybe done. Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
you're going to see a lot of photographs. You'll see if you look down, you'll notice in the right hand corner, Randy Johnson. Crazy, right? How and there was Junior last week.
Find something to do. They got to find something to do after they retire. Now, a lot of them are lost.
Yeah, and Junior's got $100 million, so he found something that he loves, and he put all that same effort he put into baseball into it. It's turned out Junior's like, you're right, he's a legit photographer. He's like amazing at it. I love to see that kind of crossover. Was it Frank Sinatra was the official photographer of the Thrilla in Manila? Time Magazine Time Magazine in 1974 hired Frank Sinatra to be the official photographer of Ollie Foreman.
Wow.
The Thrilla in Manila.
Now that's a fun fact for your ass.
Yeah. So Frank also got bored and was like, "Oh, this singing's great and all, but I want to go into photography," and wound up working for Time Magazine. It's pretty kick-ass. Anyway, I just wanted to show off my Junior jersey. So much fun watching him play back in the day. God, it was awesome.
Yeah, and by the way, Rudy, officially, I will say Mike Trout a better player than Craig Griffey Jr. After 2 seconds of research, triple the MVPs. Has tripled the MVPs, 3-1.
So
I mean,
that doesn't mean he was a better ball player.
Well, then that's
don't trigger Rudy.
Well, so let's disagree.
I'm not qualified. I'll say it. I'm not qualified to have a full-on debate with you about that, but Trout still got some work to do. There's still some meat on that bone. I'll say that.
It's unfortunate. Like, I think the average American, like 9 out of 10, wouldn't recognize Mike Trout if he walked in and sat next to him.
Only reason why I would is because of the neck.
The big neck.
Yeah, I'm like, that's got to be Mike Trout. Nobody. Yeah. Him and maybe Zach Thomas, the linebacker.
Oh yeah, Zach's neck was ridiculous.
Yeah, them two. I would be like, okay, this got to be Trout or this is Zach Thomas. I would know, it'd be one of them white dudes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm going to jump into some playoff notables, and another Nico was full of drama this week. We'll get into it in a second. But first, a minute here for San Antonio City Soccer. All right, been promoting this for the last 3 weeks. Got a couple more weeks to promote it. In May, my boys over at San Antonio City Soccer and my girls are having an event, a placement event. We don't cut kids. We place them on a level that fits them. So that's why it's called a player placement event. And if you have a girl that was born between 2007, 2015, they want to hear from you if she's a soccer player and they want to put her in the right league based on her skill level. The girls player placement event comes down May 6th through 8th. And then the boys have one the following weekend, May 12th, 13 and 14. For more information, contact San Antonio City Soccer. All right. This Nico Iamaleava.
Damn, good one. Is that how you say it? I don't know how to say it.
Living in Hawaii, I learned how to read those kind of names. I think it's Iamaleava. Iamaleava. Nico. I call him Nico. Nico, the quarterback.
Yeah, Nico, the quarterback. We got to specify with these Nicos.
Yeah, what a saga, man. So the kid decides. So he winds up. He's from Southern California. Winds up at UT, Tennessee. I almost said UT. I'm gonna get Longhorns pissed at me. The other UT, and wins double-digit games in the SEC, and starts feeling himself a little bit, and probably starts talking to other kids in the SEC. How much you making, man? I'm making $4 million. I'm making $2 million. These kids are telling each other what they make. They are. So Nico holds out, stops going to meetings, stops showing up to the facility, stops going to training. These are like mandated training seminars and sessions, and then skips a scrimmage. And that was enough for Josh Heupel, the coach, and they cut him. He didn't want to get cut. He wanted them to give him more money. Nico Iamaleava made $2 million in NIL money last year at Tennessee. No doubt he probably heard what the kid at Georgia was making.
Well, what you talking about? The one that went down to Miami?
Cam Ward?
No, the kid that was quarterback. This is Stetson. He went down to Miami. He went down to
Stetson,
Miami
what's
to hang
his
out
face?
with
Yeah,
his
that kid's probably making
Miami,
6-7.
Miami gave him like $4 million. So I know Leava was like, "Oh, I'm better than him. Let me get $4 million as well." Yeah.
Yep. And so he holds out and tells Tennessee, "Look, I want $4 million." And Josh Heupel is like, "Well, deuces," and they release him from his scholarship. And they announced that day, we're moving on from Nico. That's it. And I don't know what you think about this whole story, man. This kind of stuff was bound to happen. And this is going to happen more. And by the way, I'm not on here to bash this kid. This is capitalism. Some of these kids are transferring 2 and 3 times in a year. The problem to me, Rudy, is that the NCAA needs a football league. College football needs to break off from the NCAA and form the College Football League and have like 2 or 3 major conferences. But until we get there, the NCAA has got to come up with some kind of regulation on NILs and the transfer portal stuff. And I don't blame the kids. Don't hate the player. I'm hating on the game. You know?
Amen.
Something's got to be done.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I don't have a problem with what he did either. But when you look at it, I think he got less at UCLA. Not to mention,
or less.
You're a 1099er and you're in California, so that 1.4 is probably going to be 700,000. Where in Tennessee, you got 2 million and it's no state tax in Tennessee. Right. So he did hurt himself if you're talking about money wise. But the only reason why I don't have a problem with it is because for decades we've told these kids we have an athlete come into an auditorium and tell all the kids, only one of y'all is going to the pros, and the whole auditorium's quiet. We've told them forever, y'all ain't going to the pros, and that's still the case to this day. To this day, that's still the case. 1%. So if that is still true, make all the money you can while you're at college, since they're giving it out. And now he screwed himself. And if we're just talking finances, he screwed himself. But we can't tell them, hey, by the way, you ain't going to the pros. Make sure you get your education, or make sure you find something else to do. Okay, well, if y'all telling me I'm not going to the pros and they're handing out free money, I'm gonna transfer 17 times and make all the money I can, just in case I'm one of these million that don't make it, like y'all been telling us for decades. Mm-hmm. So we need to find a better format. We need to find a better way to do these things. But I fully understand why they're doing it. Because this kid, Nico, for all we know, he may flame out. He may end up sucking. So make $5 million while you're there. I get it. I have no problem with it, but he did hurt him. He probably left about $1.5 million on the table leaving Tennessee.
Screwed himself big time. Think he thought they.
I don't know if it was his parents. I don't know if it was the kids. I don't know who it was, but he handled that totally wrong.
Got greedy. Yeah, absolutely. And you guys hold out in the NFL all the time, but they have a union that protects them. There's rules. There's regulation. The NFL has rules on it. You can't just you can hold out, but you can't just jump over to the Chicago Bears. In college football, you can go whatever the hell you want. It's wild ass. And I'm a capitalist. I believe in a democratic society. But there's got to be some sort of regulation, a little bit, Yes, 1 year. You got to give me a year, and we're going to get to the point where there's going to be a cap on money and stuff, which I don't like caps at all either. But I guarantee you, Nico, so he's the first big name to kind of screw himself over. He damn sure won't be the last.
And I feel like the NCAA as a whole missed out on a great opportunity because the NCAA, like the powers that be, where you talk about the coaches, the ADs, or whatever. I feel like if this had been the NFL, Nico would still be looking for a job. Like the NFL does a great job of circling the wagons and saying, we're done with running backs. Does everybody get the email on the dark web? There's been an email sent to your dark web email address. This is all we're paying running backs. That's it. This is all we're doing. And they combine together. And it like, perfect example, when Lamar Jackson went rogue and Baltimore said, well, go find something. The NFL was like, everybody sat back. They worked together. I don't know where the emails go because, for the investigation purposes, but they stick together. The NCAA messed up on a great opportunity to nip this in the bud and say, nobody touched this kid. Nobody touched this kid because we have to figure out something. If we're not going to come up with a set of rules, then when the Nicos of the world come out here and they do this and they pull one of these fast ones, nobody touch them. Nobody touch him. Now UCLA they signed him for less, but you had a chance to send a message that we're not going to stand for this, and they missed that opportunity because there was 4 or 5 teams interested in him instead of being like, you know what, this could be us one day. Let's not touch this kid.
Right. Well, it's funny.
In the NFL, he wouldn't have got no money.
No. And there's people all over the country like, oh, way to go, Josh Heupel. Way to go, Tennessee. Hold your ground.
Yeah.
Don't let these kids hold you hostage.
I saw a lot of that.
Miss me with a lot of that. Josh Heupel clearly has another quarterback he likes a whole lot. Because if they didn't, they would have paid Nico to stay. I don't want to hear, way to go. That's right. You don't do that shit at Tennessee. Yeah. Yeah, you do if you don't have an alternative. They clearly have somebody else they like.
Right.
It's funny. It's funny he winds up at UCLA because he's an LA kid. Troy Aikman 2 years ago gave $1 million to a player, and he will not say who it was to go to UCLA because that's Troy's alma mater.
Oh, damn.
And Troy got burned. So they asked Troy, a collective reached out to Troy, hey, we really want this kid. He's a 5-star, blah, blah, blah. He's a stud. Can you help out? And Aikman like, cool. Aikman floated the kid $1 million. And the kid agrees to go to UCLA. And then within 6 weeks, decided, I'm good. Spent Troy's money and never played a game at UCLA.
Now, I'm not
Aikman
okay.
said, I'm done. Don't ask me again to give y'all money. Ain't done.
I'm for
done.
These kids getting paid, Mike.
That's
I'm
bullshit.
Not for that.
That's where the regulation needs to be.
I'm totally against that.
That's sorry.
That's not cool.
That's sorry.
That's not cool at all. And his parents should be ashamed as well.
Ashamed. There should be lawsuits. Well, there's got to be some sort of regulation. Cool. We gave you $1 million. You have to sign a contract that you at least play a season, then hold out. Yeah. Aikman's already said, I will not donate another nickel to UCLA. It sucks. It's unfortunate.
I never really agree with Cam Newton. He's a little bit out there with his takes, but he had a great take on the NIL. And he said the NIL was supposed to make college comfortable. Like, there was times where, guys couldn't get home on the weekend when there's a week off. A guy couldn't get a pizza. A guy couldn't get a decent raggedy car. So the NIL was designed to make college comfortable. It's not designed for you to make generational money. Right. Like the goal's still the NFL. It wasn't supposed to be what we're seeing. Like guys are like, yo, I get it. But that's not on the players. The players are in this system and they can take advantage of it. Like you said, Mike, we're hating on the game. This was just supposed to help you be able like, hey, get you a nice little Dodge Challenger. You know what I mean? Get you a couple bucks to, go out, put a little bit of money away in case you don't get to the NFL. It wasn't designed to make you. If we didn't have the idea that these kids were going to try to make a gazillion dollars before they left. And so the system is broken clearly, especially when you can take $1 million from somebody and run off. Like, hell no. Nuts. I'd be suing. Troy's better than me.
Dude. Yeah. Well, he don't have a lawsuit. I mean, there was nothing on paper that agreed. You have to, this is okay. I'll give you $1 million. You have to do this. There was none of that. Troy just in good faith gave money and got burned. Terrible. All right, show also brought to you in part by Lone Star Nano Services. Storm season's here. I know y'all had a big one a couple of days ago. How's the weather today? Is it better?
It was fine. It was fine. Good, but that storm was up a Sunday morning, like 2, 3 in the morning, boom,
Yep.
boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
We got big weather still coming. We're in the middle of it now. So if you are thinking I should get my roof looked at or I should get my roof protected, Lone Star Nano Services will come out and protect your roof. They put this miracle stuff on there. Not only does it make your roof look kind of pretty because it takes all the gunk off there, but it puts this coat on there. You know, I'm just speaking in layman's terms because I'm certainly no scientist when it comes to this. My boys at Lone Star, they're the scientists. They protect your roof from the crazy volatile Texas weatherization that we get in Texas.
Preventative measures, people.
Exactly. Absolutely. It's kind of like this is fluoride for your teeth. It's mouthwash for your roof. They'll do a free inspection. Call my boys at Lone Star Nano Services. Reach out to me because I will personally come out to your house or your business, by the way. All right. And by the way, they also have just announced today, Lone Star Nano Services, that they will do financing on. They'll do financing. All right. So they're down to negotiate. So there's no Troy Aikman burn deals. They'll help you finance, and that guarantees that they'll do your roof, and you ain't got to pay all at once. You got to talk to them about that. But go get your roof inspected for free if you're a subscriber of our show, and get hooked up. And I'll come out there and say hi to you too. It's Lone Star Nano Services. All right, gentlemen. Can't thank y'all enough for staying up late and accommodating my crazy schedule. The sun ain't even down yet in Hawaii. It's 5:58 p.m.
Well, enjoy them babies. It's your last day.
Well, thank you so much to Jose Bouquet. Thank you to Ken Griffey Jr., Screw Nico Harrison. Thank you to the people and our partners. Like, share, subscribe, become a member. Thank you to Rudy holding it down. See y'all Wednesday, 10 a.m. It's in the building, baby.